नित्यानन्देश्वर समारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरि मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, everyone, visitors, viewers. I welcome every one of you. With my love and blessings. City is sitting with us in two-way video conferencing. Houston, Kalahasti, Los Angeles, Arunachalam, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Toronto, Kailasam, Guadalupe, Rameshwaram, Singapore, Singapuram, Oklahoma, Somanatham, Nithyananda Nagaramu, Hyderabad, Seattle, Chidambaram, Ohio, Prayag, Riverside, California, Dubai, Vaidyanatham, Austin, Hyderabad, Guptakashi, San Diego, La Jolla, Monterrey, Kedarnath, Hong Kong, Sirgari, Bogota, Colombia, Klang, Malaysia, Oman, Sivagangai, Jorpati, Nepal, Kathmandu, Nepal, San Antonio, Texas, Coimbatore, Dhyanapeetham, Hosur, Dhyanapeetham, and Kuala Lumpur, Parani. The Kuala Lumpur Parani Center is today offering Annadan for 1 lakh people. All our sannyasis, brahmacharis are working. You can all see the 100,000 people are given free food. The Nithyananda Hindu Sangha, Malaysia, is distributing 100,000 food packets. You can see. In Kuala Lumpur, Batu Caves, today is Thaipusam Utsavam. Today is the day when Subramanya became enlightened. Today is the same day he appeared on the planet Earth. And at the age of 8, Mahadeva gave him enlightenment. And in the south there is a tradition, on the same day, Subramanya initiated Mahadeva at the age of 12. In the south, we make Subramanya so big, he becomes Sivaguru Nada. He becomes Guru of Mahadeva. You see, Mahadeva playfully asks, do you know the meaning of the Pranava, Omkara mantra? Because Subramanya asks Brahma, see, Subramanya asked Brahma, do you know the meaning of the Pranava? Brahma was shaken. He said, I only know the mantra, I don't know the meaning. Then Subramanya asks Brahma and says, then you are not qualified to be a Srishtikarta, I will do your job. Then the whole world is a mess. Mahadeva rushed to the place and asked him, hey, why did you arrest Brahma, release him? He said, no, he doesn't know the meaning of the Pranava. And Mahadeva asked, do you know or what? Then Subramanya says, I know, if you want to know, be a disciple, I will teach you. Then the story says, Mahadeva sat politely as a disciple, then Subramanya initiated him, gave him the meaning, and Mahadeva was so happy to know from Subramanya. The story says he changed years. Subramanya was a kid, so he was carrying. When the Subramanya was teaching, suddenly he changed from this side to this side. Then Subramanya asked, why did you change from right ears to left ear? He said, no, let your mother also hear. Half is arsana. So today is the day Subramanya initiated Mahadeva into Pranava, and then Mahadeva says, even if you know the meaning of the Pranava, you don't know the whole technology of creation, you have to liberate him. Then Brahma was released. So all three festivals are observed today. mainly in 3 states, Andhra, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, because only these 3 states has lot of Subramania temples. Kukke Subramania in Karnataka, and there's a big Subramania temple in Andhra. Of course, Tamil Nadu is full of Subramania temples. And all over the world, wherever the South Indians have settled, they created Subramania temples. Everywhere today is the celebration. Especially in Tamil Nadu, Palani, I don't know how many lakh will gather. In Arunachala also, today is a very big festival celebrating Shivagurunatha Swami, means who initiated Mahadeva himself. So, as per the tradition today, whoever comes to Subramania, he initiates all of them and blesses all of them, accepts all of them as disciples and followers. So, in Kuala Lumpur, Bhattu Caves, more than 10 lakh people, million people gather. Our devotees have put a huge pandal. You can see tons and tons of food being cooked and packed and served. I think the amount of food getting cooked and the number of volunteers working and the way it is being served, I think it will go more than 100,000 people. Please, you can see the whole team is our volunteer team. And the whole pandal is ours on behalf of Dhyanapeetham. You can see all our volunteers and you can see our banner, Nitya Annadanam, free food for all, Taipusa Annadanam. Great. My blessings to the whole Nithyananda Hindu Sangha Malaysia and the whole Malaysia itself. You guys are doing such wonderful job. All your past incompletions will be washed away. All your incompletions will be washed away. You will all be complete, blissful. All our devotees, disciples, ashramites, mahants, kotaris, tanedars, everyone in Malaysia, devotees, everyone, blessings to all of you. All your past incompletions will be washed away. You will all be blissful, complete, and let Subramanya's grace be on all of you. This Bhattu cave is a Siddha Pita where Subramanya's energy is so alive. My blessings. I am always happy when devotees are served. I want to do this job in India in a large scale, like how Gayatri Pita was doing, yajnas. I really wanted some 25 lorry full of items and people. They go to every big celebration where devotees gather, cook and feed. Like ISKCON is giving food, they say free food for education. I want to say free food for spiritual yatras. The yatris, people who come to temple, should not suffer or should not be in want of anything. Whether it is a Magh Mela in Prayag or Thaipusam in Palani or Deepam in Thiruvannamalai or Meenakshi's marriage in Madurai or Chardham Yatra, we should be there giving food and serving devotees. One of the Ramakrishna's most beautiful biography, that book was called in Bengali Sri Sri Ramakrishna Punkti. In English they have translated portrait of Sri Ramakrishna, the book starts with a beautiful verse. Jaya Jaya Ramakrishna Vanja Kalpataru, Jaya Jaya Bhagavan Jagater Guru, Jaya Jaya Ramakrishna Ishtagoshtigan, Sobaya Sharanirenu Mageye Adam. It's a Bengali verse. I revere and take respectfully all the feet dust of Ramakrishna's devotees. I tell you, this is the peak of Hinduism, being devoted to devotees. Shobayar Shoranirenu Mageye Adam. This whole book, I think around 78,000 verses, I think. The whole book I know by heart. I used to read. Now that touch is lost, I forgot many things. It's a beautiful book. By describing the beauty and glory of devotees, the Master's glory is described. I feel when you serve bhaktas, devotees, Bhagavan is more happy. Nithyananda Hindu Sangha, Malaysia is doing that work. My blessings to all you guys. I am so happy. I would not have been happy even if you have kept 1,008 Naivedyams in front of me. But I am happy you are now keeping 100,000 Naivedyams in front of my Vrat Swarupa, the devotees in whom I am living. At one day I know I will have thousands of my sannyasis, devotees, kotaris, mahans, all over the world serving the devotees like this. We may not have enough resources now, people, money, organizing to do this job, but I am really, at least I am putting it on record, my vision. When time comes, when world starts giving us more resources, I wanted this to be one of our top project, where at least 10,000 sannyasis do only this job. Anywhere the yatra happens, go there with 25 lorry full of items, cook and feed million people, 2 million people. This should be there. I think this is one of the best way the tradition is kept alive. Yatra, the spiritual tourism, is unique concept given by Hinduism to the world. All religions received this concept of yatra, religious tourism, spiritual tourism from Hinduism. Even now, India is the country where largest spiritual tourism happens in the world. I will continue to speak on Kalpataru and Mahabharata characters also. In between few days, because we were having Mahabharata, I did not speak on Mahabharata. There was a live Mahabharata going on. Aaj ka Mahabharata. But I tell you, never before, never after, this multi-hero heroine story was built. Understand? A human mind can conceive a story means one hero, one heroine, one villain, one comedian, or maximum two hero, two heroine, but never this large scale of multi-hero, heroine, villain stories have been built. Look at Mahabharata. Who is hero? Yudhishthira? No. Arjuna? No. Panchabandavas, all the five? No. Then what about Krishna? All right. Panchabandavas and Krishna? No. What about Bhishma? All right. Panchabandavas, Krishna and Bhishma. What about Karna? What way is less heroic? All right. Panchabandavas, Krishna and Karna, Bhishma. Then what about Drishtadyumna? He is not heroic. What about Drona? Drona's history can be a separate book. Yudhishthira's can be a separate book. Karna's can be a separate book. The multiple hero, multi-hero, heroine, villain, story which was never before or never after recorded so beautifully. I may not want to say it is story written. I may only want to say it is story recorded. Because no human mind can conceive such a multiple layered stories. See, the modern day very clearly proves to conceive a multiple layered story, you need a subtle grooves of your brain awakened. When I read the story of Mahabharata, I am 100% sure Vyasa's all subtle grooves of the brain have been awakened. All non-mechanical parts of the brain is awakened. I think Vyasa's whole body was brain. Because each character, Shikandini, he builds the Shikandi's character for 3 births. And Shikandi is only one of the thousands of characters. Who will you call as a hero? Who will you call as a villain? Can you say Shakuni is the villain? No. Then what about Duryodhana? Can you say Duryodhana is villain? Then what about Dushasana? Who has done more damage? If Dushasana and Duryodhana and Shakuni are villain, then what about Dhritarashtra? If Duryodhana, Dushasana, Dhritarashtra, if all of them are villain, what about Aswathama? Who is a heroine? Can you say Kundi is a heroine? Then what about Ganga? If you say Kundi and Ganga are heroine, then what about Gandhari? If Kundi and Ganga and Gandhari are heroine, then what about Draupadi? The multi-hero, multi-heroine, multi-villain story, which was neither conceived before nor conceived after, and nobody is made as hero. Everything is recorded. Please understand. Nobody is shown as perfect. The fraudulence Krishna did, cheap fraudulences are recorded. Krishna comes to know that on Amavasya day, if the war starts, Duryodhana is going to win, and this fellow goes to the Ganga and starts giving darpana. The sun and the moon, Surya and Chandra, They get surprised and they look, what is this? Why is Krishna giving darpana today? Today is not Amavasya. They both run to him and ask, oh Mahadeva, Bhagavan, why are you giving darpana today? Today is not Amavasya. Then Krishna looks at them and asks, what is the meaning of the Amavasya? They say, when sun and the moon meet, both of us meet. Krishna said, I already made you guys meet. Darpana is done, go. Amavasya. What a silly game for a Bhagavan to play. What a silly game for a Bhagavan to play. But I tell you, he is the greatest being. Krishna, you can never compare. Never before nor after a personality like Krishna happened. Who can play all the games. He was neither integrity. Krishna's integrity, if I have to give the mark, I will give 0. No, really. How many times he lied? He tells Bhishma, I will never pick up weapons. Gets into the war field and picks up the chariot wheel and technically justifies. Chariot wheel is not a weapon. Hey, come on. There is a definition for astra and sastra. Anything which stays in your hand and hurts the enemy is shastra. Anything which goes from your hand and hurts the enemy is astra. Technically, this is not astra or shastra. This is just a can or a flask, you can say. But if I use this and throw it on somebody and hurt that person, is this not astra? Then how many drama? You pick up a chariot wheel and anything, you have a boon, anything gets into your finger becomes Sudarshana. And then he said, no, technically it is not a weapon. And then when he has to kill the Jayadrata, he covers the whole sun. If you are going to use all these powers, kill those poor human beings, then better you could have killed everyone in one go. Come on, tell one tsunami, go over. He played with all the powers in an amazing way. You can't explain. You can't give any meaning. You can't give reason. Only when you bow down, you understand this Leela. Only when you surrender, you understand this Leela. Forget about Krishna's integrity. Even Yudhishthira's integrity was broken. When Drona was killed, Yudhishthira tells a lie. Understand? Maybe as per the letter, he has not lied, but as per the spirit, he has lied. So nobody was forcibly made as hero. Everything was recorded as it is. Krishna ran away from the war field, not in the Mahabharata war, earlier. Everything is recorded clearly. He was never shown as a falsified macho hero. Whatever has happened, as it is recorded, each person. And same way, just because Karna was in the villain's team, he was not shown as a villain. All his beautiful qualities have been so beautifully described. And each character, see, The Surya's bio-memory is causelessly giving. Karna, carrying that bio-memory, causelessly giving. Even when he knows this giving is going to be taking away his life. When he gave his kavacha to Indra, he knows he is dead. When he gave all his punyas to Krishna, he knows he is dead. No one other than Karna can give so many times his life. It was not Dharma Yuddha, let us be very clear. How many hundreds of times this side and that side, both of them have broken all the rules. 13th day night, as per the law, in the night you cannot fight. Karna enters into the whole, the camp of Pandavas, and Gadodgaja wakes up and demolishes the whole Kauravas camp. Even Yudhishthira allowed it. Neither Karna cared for the law, nor Yudhishthira. You see, by 13th day, both of them are dead. Bhishma and Drona. Bhishma is not dead, but is no more powerful. So Yudhishthira only has to take the responsibility. The blame cannot be put on Bhishma or Drona. Both of them are, Drona is dead and Bhishma is on the deathbed. Neither Karna nor Yudhishthira followed the rules. It was not Dharma Yuddha. And Vyasa is not trying to make it as Dharma Yuddha. He records it. He records everything. Other than the people who are cooking and feeding, other than that camp, there was record by Vyasa, a Dravidian king, Chola Raja, takes up the responsibility of feeding both the camp. He says, I won't be part of the war, but I will give food to the whole, both sides. And other than his camp, the whole thing was destroyed 30th night. And the story says, after 14th fight, all the children, handicapped, who are not allowed to fight, they were all recruited for war. It's a big war crime. The story says, eunuchs, the transgenders, handicapped, physically handicapped people, children, all of them were enrolled into the war. Some places even women. So understand, it was not Dharma Yuddha. I may not give the word title Dharma Yuddha for it. When the vengeance takes over, both sides loses its cool. I'll only say, even Dharma even Yudhishthira became a terrorist. When he started the war, it was for Dharma. After a few days, see, once you are into the war, now it is only the game of survival. Even Yudhishthira lost all the values in the game of survival. And as per the law, you cannot hit below the hip. Duryodhana was killed by breaking his thigh. When his thigh was broken, The excessive bleeding killed him. That was not allowed in the tradition. Understand? Every death, whether Kaurava's side or Pandava's side, was done adharmically. Bhishma, a transgender, is not allowed to fight in the war. You should not send your arrows towards a transgender. In Hindu tradition, there is a clear law. Neither verbally or physically you can abuse the transgender. It's a tradition. You can't abuse. So Bhishma is a dharmic guy who will not put his arrows towards Shikandini. Arjuna uses that as a weakness. The other person's dharma should never be used as a weakness to attack. Never ever the other person's dharma should be used as his weakness. But Arjuna uses. And even then, they were not able to defeat Bhishma. Then Krishna directly gets into the field and picks up the chariot wheel to attack Bhishma. Then Bhishma bows down to Krishna. Oh Bhagavan, if you want me to die, tell me, now I am dropping the weapon. When Bhishma was worshipping Krishna, Krishna shows the eyes and gives the signal to Arjuna, and Arjuna kills Bhishma. It may be Krishna, but still I am not able to digest. The same way, Abhimanyu, this side, a 14-year-old kid, 7 warriors, Duryodhana, Karna, Shaguni, Duschadana, 7 warriors around him. As per the dharma, only one person can fight with one person. 7 big warriors. One is on the elephant, one is on the chariot, one is with Gada, he is in the ground. 7 warriors together killed him. So where is dharma here? It's a crude terrorism. But Vyasa is not trying to make it as dharma by painting. I can say Vyasa is the greatest, juiciest, unbiased historian. He records the whole thing. He doesn't care about how the future is going to respond to it. He doesn't care about how the future is going to look at it. He doesn't have a vested interest. If you read what Krishna did on the 10th day, you won't have respect to read his Bhagavad Gita. But Vyasa doesn't care. He does it. He records it. And same way, Drona was killed by putting him into the powerless space by telling lies. Krishna knows his root pattern. Drona's root pattern. He triggers his root pattern. So when the root pattern is triggered, your muscle, whole body, everything loses its strength. Then he tells Arjuna, come on, hit, kill him. For a Vaishya, poverty will be the root pattern. For a Kshatriya, powerlessness will be the root pattern. For a Brahmana, keeping the tradition alive will be the root pattern. As an enlightened being, I don't have any root pattern. But if you ask, which will be the most important thing for me, it will be keeping the tradition alive. I am doing this out of powerfulness, but unfortunately Drona had this one root pattern. He wants to keep the tradition alive by keeping his son alive. That one root pattern. An Aswattama, oh God. If I have to give the world's rowdy number 1, I will give Aswattama only that award. Because after the whole war is over, he goes and kills 5 kids of Pandavas in the night. War is over. 18th day war is over. Duryodhana is dead. Sorry, Duryodhana, it took 3.5 days for Duryodhana to die. So his thigh is broken and he is lying. He is in coma. 3.5 days it took for excessive bleeding to happen and for him to die. He was left to die, and he is in coma. That night, Ashwatthama gets into the camp of Panchapandavas who are celebrating the victory, goes secretly in the night and kills all the 5 kids of Pandava in the night. Please understand, now I am describing the complexity of Mahabharata. I am not disrespecting any character. Be very clear. I am not disrespecting anybody. All I am trying to tell is the complexity of the life is captured as it is. That itself is not a small joke, because human beings are always trained to edit others and theirs life. You don't want to see a person's paradoxical dimensions and complexities, because you don't want to see your complexities and paradoxical dimensions. If you can't be complete with your paradoxical complexity dimensions, you will never have the intelligence to handle people who come in your life. So Mahabharata should be studied as it is. I wanted to make Mahabharata as a syllabus for our Gurukul kids. The NDTV is Ramayana and Star plus Mahabharata. Please understand, I am giving even the version. All our Gurukul kids should study these two. We should even have examination. Who is who? What is what? Vyasa has not done any makeup to anybody. He has not done any makeup to anybody. If he wants to do makeup, he could have hidden the Yudhishthira's only one mistake, one lie. Krishna you cannot hide. He is a liar from out to out. Every fellow Krishna killed is only through conspiracy. But at least Yudhishthira's one lie he could have hidden. He did not. How the whole characters. The complexity of the multiple characters. How the Karna was killed. See God. Much before Karna joins Gaurava's camp, when he is studying in the Gurukul with Parasurama, Krishna smells, goes as a bee and start eating his thigh, makes him bleed and makes him get the curse of Parasurama. God. He does not even know whether Karna is going to join Arjuna's side or Kaurava's side. First. Then next, Krishna sends Kundi to ask two boon from Karna, saying, you will not kill anybody else other than Arjuna, and you will not put the Nagastra second time. When Karna gave this boon, he knows he is dead. Third, Krishna sends Indra to beg for his Kavacha and Kundala. Karna knows if he gives his Kavacha Kundala, he is dead. He dies. Third. Then fourth, he himself goes and asks for all punya. And Karna knows if he gives, he is dead. Fourth time he dies. I tell you, Bhagavan himself has to come down, do so many things to kill one person. I tell you, Karna is the biggest hero in the whole story. Disowned by mother, lived in driver's house, but learnt everything in his own way, self-mastery, and got the recognition in his own way. I don't know how many days I will take to describe the complexity of Mahabharata, from how many dimensions. Not a single guy was killed this side or this side dharmically. That much I can be sure. But when you read the whole thing, you are just awestruck. Wow, what a civilization. Complexity of the life. It is not that the death of Abhimanyu was illegal or adharmic. The next day, Karna's son, he was also a 13-year-old kid. He was brought to the war field just to give him experience of war field. He did not even come to wage the war. But the moment Krishna sees him, he engages 2-3 people to fight with Karna and separates the child from Karna, the Karna's chariot, and makes Arjuna kill the kid. That kid has an intuition power. So before dying, he addresses Arjuna as a Chittappa, means younger brother of the father. When he screams as Chittappa. Arjuna could not understand logically, but his whole heart falls into depression. His whole biomemory knows the child is his brother's son. His logic doesn't know. So he comes back with an unimaginable depression, and Krishna, who knows the whole secret, without telling the secret, consoles him, saying, no, in the war field these are all okay. Arjuna asks Krishna later on, how did you hide this? Such big truth. He even goes to the extent of saying, you Yadava planned and killed us Kauravas. destroyed the whole Vamsha. If we would have known Karna is our elder brother, we would not have fought. Krishna says, that is why I did not let you know. The Jayadrath's killing. Krishna covers the sun. Because the sunset has happened, Jayadratha comes out. Now he tells Arjuna, come on, sun has not set. He removes the chakra and he says, come on, kill now. And he cuts the head. And where the whole story has happened. But one good thing, Vyasa is such an unbiased historian who recorded the whole history. As it happened, Mahabharata is like an ocean. If you understand Mahabharata, you will understand the complexity of personalities or complexity of you. You will never try to have hatred or denial to some parts of you, and you will never have the hatred or denial to some parts of others. You will understand how to handle the whole life as it is. With this, I move to Kalpataru. Today's process also is the essence of today's satsang. Complete with your SDHD and accept all your complexities and paradoxes. Some parts of you which you hate are powers and powerful parts of you. If you hate your anger, you are not letting that become a compassion. If you hate some components of you, you are not letting that transform. Understand? So sit straight, close your eyes, complete with your whole being, accept with your whole intelligence, complete with all the SDHD. Accept yourself to radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching and with eternal bliss. Nithya
is meditation, connecting with the divine. With your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
Om Namo Nithyananda, Om Namo Namo. Om Namo Nithyananda, Om Namo Nithyananda, Om Namo Nithyananda, Om Namo Namo. Sada Bala Rupapi Vignadrihantri Mahadanti Vaktrapi Panchasya Manya Vidhindradi Mrigya Ganesha Bhidame विधत्तां श्रियं कापि कल्याणमूर्ति न जानामि शब्दं न जानामि चार्थं न जानामि पद्यं न जानामि गद्यं चिदेकाषडास्या हृदि द्योतते मे मुखानि सरन्ते गिरश्वापि चित्रम् मनोहारि देहं महच्चित्तगेहं महीदेवदेवं महावेदभावं महादेवबालं भजे लोकपालं यदा सन्निधानं गता मानवा मे भवाम्भोतिपारं गदास्ते तदैव इति व्यञ्जयन् सिन्धुतीरे नास्ते तमीडे पवित्रं पराशक्तिपुत्रम्। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। यथाब्धेस्तरङ्गालयं यान्ति तुङ्गा तथैवापदसन्निधौ सेवता मे इति वार्मि पङ्क्तिर्नृणां दर्शयन्तं सदा भावये हृत्सरोजे गुहं तं गिरौ मन्निवासे नरायेऽधिरूढा तदा पर्वते राजते ते धिरूढा इतीव ब्रुवन् गन्धशैलाधिरूढ स देवो मुदे मे सदा षण्मुखोऽस्तु। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। महाम्भोधिधीरे महापापचोरे मुनीन्द्रानुकूले सुगन्धाख्यशैले सुहायां वसन्तं स्वभासालसन्तं जनार्तिं हरन्तं श्रयामो गुहं तं लसत्स्वर्णगेहे नृणां कामदोहे सुमस्तोमसञ्छन्नमाणिक्यमञ्जे सुमुद्यत्सहस्रार्कतुल्यप्रकाशं सदा भावये कार्तिकेयं सुरेशम्। प्रणद्धं सखे मञ्जुले द्यन्तशोणे मनोहारि लावण्य पीयूषपूर्णे मनः षट्पदो मे भवल्केशतप्त सदा मोदतां स्कन्दते पादपद्मे सुवर्णाभदिव्याम्बरैर्भासमाना कणत्किङ्किणी मेखला शोभमाना लसद्धेमपट्टेन विद्योतमाना कटिं भावये स्कन्दते दीप्यमानाम्। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। केशकन्या घनाभोधतुङ्ग स्तनालिङ्गनासक्त काश्मीररागं नमस्याम्यहं तारकारेतवोर स्वभक्तावने सर्वदा सानुरागं विधौ क्लिप्तदण्डान् स्वलीलाधृताण्डान् निरस्ते भशुण्डान् द्विषत्कालदण्डान् हतेन्द्रारिषण्डान् जगत्राणशौण्डान् सदा ते प्रचण्डान् श्रये बाहुदण्डान्। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। सदा शारदा षण्मृगाङ्काय दिस्यु सुमुध्यन्त एव स्थिता श्वेत्समन्तात् सदा पूर्णबिम्बाकलङ्गैश्च हीना तदा त्वन्मुखानां भ्रुवे स्कन्दसाम्यं स्फुरन्मन्दहासैः स हंसानि सञ्चत् कटाक्षावलीभृङ्गसङ्घोज्ज्वलानि सुधास्यन्ति बिम्बाधराणि शसूनो तवालोकये षण्मुखाम्भोरुहानि। विशालेषु कर्णान्तदीर्घेष्वजस्त्रं दयास्यन्तिषु द्वादशस्वीक्षणेषु मयीषत्कटाक्षसकृत्पातिदक्षित् भवेत् ते दयाशीलकानामहानि सुताङ्गोद्भवो मेऽसि जीवेति षड्घा जपन्मन्त्रमीशो मुदा जिघ्रते यात् जगद्भारमृद्भ्यो जगन्नाथ तेभ्यः किरीटोज्ज्वलेभ्यो नमो मस्तकेभ्यः। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। स्फुरद्रत्नकेयूरहाराभिराम श्वलत्कुण्डलश्रीलसत्खण्डभाग कटौपीतवासाकरे चारुशक्ति पुरस्तान्ममास्तां पुरारेस्तनूज इहायाहि वत्सेति हस्तान् प्रसार्या वयत्यादराच्छङ्करे मातुरङ्गात् समुत्पद्यतातं श्रयन्तं कुमारं हराश्लिष्टगात्रं भजे बालमूर्तिम्। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। कुमारेश सूनो गुहस्कन्दसेना पते शक्तिकाणे मयूराधिरूढ पुलिन्दात्मजाकान्तभक्तार्तिहारिन् प्रभोतारकारे सदा रक्ष मां त्वं प्रशान्तेन्द्रिये नष्टसङ्गे विचेष्टे कफोद्घारि वक्त्रे भयोत्कम्पि गात्रे प्रयाणोन्मुखे मय्यनाथे तदानीं धृतं मे दयालो भवाग्रे गुहत्वम्। कृतान्तस्य दूतेषु चण्डेषु कोपा दृहच्चिन्धिभिन्दीति मां तर्जयत्सु मयूरं समारोह्य माभैरिति त्वं पुरश्शक्तिपाणिर्ममायाहि शीघ्रं प्रणम्यासकृत्पादयोस्ते पतित्वा प्रसाद्य प्रभो पार्थयेनेकवारम् न वक्तुं क्षमोकं तदानीं कृपाब्धे न कार्यान्तकाले मनागप्युपेक्ष। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो। सहस्राण्डभोक्ता त्वया शूरनामा हतस्तारकसिंहवक्त्रश्च दैत्य ममान्तर्हृदिस्थं मनक्लेशमेकं न हंसि प्रभो किं करोमि कयामि अहं सर्वदा दुःखभारावसन्नो भवान् दीनबन्धुस्त्वदन्यं न याचे भवद्भक्तिरोगं सदा क्लिप्तबाधं ममाधिं दूतं नाशयो मासु तत्त्वम्। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो। अपस्मारकुष्ठक्षयाशप्रमेह ज्वरोन्मादगुल्मादिरोगा महान्त पिशाचाश्च सर्वे भवत्पत्रभूतिं विलोक्य क्षणात्तारकारे द्रवन्ते दृशिस्कन्दमूर्तिश्रुतौ स्कन्दकीर्तिर्मुखे मे पवित्रं सदा तच्चरित्रम् करे तस्य कृत्यं वपुस्तस्य भृत्यं कुहे सन्तुलीना ममाशेषभावा। अभीष्टप्रदा सन्ति सर्वत्र देवा नृणामन्त्यजानामपि स्वार्थदाने गुहादेव मन्यं न जाने कलत्रं सुता बन्धुवर्ग पशुर्वा नरो वाथ नारी गृहे ये मदीया यजन्तो नमन्तस्तुवन्तो भवन्तं स्मरन्तश्च ते सन्तु सर्वे कुमार। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो।
Is meditation. Connecting with the divine. With your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो। सदा बालरूपापि विघ्नाद्रिहन्त्रि महादन्ति वक्त्रापि पञ्चास्य मान्या विधीन्द्रादिमृग्या गणेशाभिधामे विधत्तां श्रियं कापि कल्याणमूर्ति। न जानामि शब्दं न जानामि चार्थं न जानामि पद्यं न जानामि गद्यं चिदेका षडास्या हृदि द्योतते मे मुखानि सरन्ते गिरश्वापि चित्रम्। मयूराधिरूढं महावाक्यगूढं मनोहारिदेहं महच्चित्तगेहं महीदेवदेवं महावेदभावं महादेवबालं भजे लोकपालं। यदा सन्निधानं गता मानवामि भवाम्भोधिपारं गदास्ते तदैव इति व्यञ्जयन् सिन्धुतीरे नास्ते तमीडे पवित्रं पराशक्तिपुत्रम्। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो। यथाब्धेस्तरङ्गालयं यान्ति तुङ्गा तथैवापदसन्निधौ सेवतामे इति वार्मि पङ्क्तिर्नृणां दर्शयन्तं सदा भावये हृत्सरोजे मुखं सदा षण्मुखोऽस्तु।
ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो।
महाम्भोधिधीरे महापापचोरे मुनीन्द्रानुकूले सुगन्धाख्यशैले सुहायां वसन्तं स्वभासालसन्तं जनार्तिं हरन्तं श्रयामो गुहं तं लसत्स्वर्णगेहे नृणां कामदोहे सुमस्तोमसञ्छन्नमाणिक्यमञ्जे सुमुद्यत्सहस्रार्कतुल्यप्रकाशं सदा भावये कार्तिकेयं सुरेशम्। प्रणद्धं सखे मञ्जुले द्यन्तशोणे मनोहारि लावण्यपीयूषपूर्णे मनः षट्पदो मे भवल्केशतप्त सदा मोदतां स्कन्दते पादपद्मे सुवर्णाभदिव्याम्बरैर्भासमाना कणत्किङ्किणी मेखला शोभमाना लसद्धेमपट्टेन विद्योतमाना कटिं भावये स्कन्दते दीप्यमानाम्।
ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो।
पुलिन्देशकन्या घनाभोधतुङ्ग स्तनालिङ्गनासक्त काश्मीररागं नमस्याम्यहं तारकारेतवोर स्वभक्तावने सर्वदा सानुरागं विधौ क्लिप्तदण्डान् स्वलीलाधृताण्डान् निरस्ते भशुण्डान् द्विषत्कालदण्डान् हतेन्द्रारिषण्डान् जगत्राणशौण्डान् सदा ते प्रचण्डान् श्रये बाहुदण्डान्।
ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो। ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द, ॐ नमो नमो।
सदा शारदा षण्मृगाङ्कायदि स्युः सुमुध्यन्त एव स्थिता श्वेत्समन्तात् सदा पूर्णबिम्बाकलङ्गैश्च हीना तदा त्वन्मुखानां भ्रुवे स्कन्दसाम्यं स्फुरन्मन्दहासैः स हंसानि सञ्चत् कटाक्षावलिभृङ्गसङ्घोज्ज्वलानि सुधास्यन्ति बिम्बाधराणि शसूनो तवालोकये षण्मुखाम्भोरुहानि। विशालेषु कर्णान्तदीर्घेष्वजस्रं दयास्यन्तिषु द्वादशस्वीक्षणेषु मयीषत्कटाक्षसकृत्पातितक्षित् भवेत्ते दयाशीलकानामहानि सुताङ्गोद्भवो मेऽसि जीवेति षड्घ जपन्मन्त्रमीशो मुदा जिघ्रतेया जगद्भारमृद्भ्यो जगन्नाथ तेभ्य गिरीटोज्ज्वलेभ्यो नमो मस्तकेभ्यः।
ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो।
स्फुरद्रत्नकेयूरहाराभिराम श्वलत्कुण्डलश्रीलसत्खण्डभाग कटौपीतवासाकरे चारुशक्ति पुरस्तान्ममास्तां पुरारेस्तनूज इहायाहि वत्सेति हस्तान् प्रसार्या वयत्यादराच्छङ्करे मातुरङ्गात् समुत्पद्यतातं श्रयन्तं कुमारं हराश्लिष्टगात्रं भजे बालमूर्तिम्।
ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो।
कुमारेश सूनो गुहस्कन्दसेना पते शक्तिकाणे मयूराधिरूढ पुलिन्दात्मजा कान्तभक्तार्तिहारि प्रभो तारकारे सदा रक्ष मां त्वं प्रशान्तेन्द्रिये नष्टसङ्गे विचेष्टे कफोद्घारि वक्त्रे भयोत्कम्पि गात्रे प्रयाणोन्मुखे मय्यनाथे तदानि धृतं मे दयालो भवाग्रे गुहत्वम्। कृतान्तस्य दूतेषु चण्डेषु कोपा दृहच्चिन्धिभिन्दीति मां तर्जयत्सु मयूरं समारोह्य माभैरिति त्वं पुरशक्तिपाणिर्ममायाहि शीघ्रं प्रणम्यासकृत्पादयोस्ते पतित्वा प्रसाद्य प्रभो पार्थयेनेकवारम् न वक्तुं क्षमोकं तदानीं कृपाब्धे न कार्यान्तकाले मनागप्युपेक्षा।
ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो।
सहस्राण्डभोक्ता त्वया शूरनामा हतस्तारकसिंहवक्त्रश्च दैत्य ममान्तर्हृदिस्थं मनक्लेशमेकं न हंसि प्रभो किं करोमि कयामि अहं सर्वदा दुःखभारावसन्नो भवान् दीनबन्धुस्त्वदन्यं न याचे भवद्भक्तिरोगं सदा क्लिप्तबाधं ममाधिं तु तं नाशयो मासु तत्त्वम्।
ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो।
अपस्मारकुष्ठक्षयाश प्रमेह स्वरोन्मादगुल्मादिरोगा महान्त पिशाचाश्च सर्वे भवत्पत्रभूतिं विलोक्य क्षणात्तारकारे द्रवन्ते दृशिस्कन्दमूर्तिश्रुतौ स्कन्दकीर्तिर्मुखे मे पवित्रं सदा तच्चरित्रं करे तस्य कृत्यं वपुस्तस्य भृत्यं कुहे सन्तुलीना ममाशेषभावा। अभीष्टप्रदा सन्ति सर्वत्र देवा नृणामन्त्यजानामपि स्वार्थदाने गुहादेव मन्यं न जाने कलत्रं सुता बन्धुवर्गपशुर्वा नरो वाथ नारी गृहे ये मदीया यजन्तो नमन्तस्तुवन्तो भवन्तं स्मरन्तश्च ते सन्तु सर्वे कुमार।
ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नित्यानन्द ॐ नमो नमो।
Is meditation. Connecting with the divine. With your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan.